Hey, this is Josh from BrandsWalk back at it again with another video. Today I'll be talking about my top 5 destinations in Japan outside of the major cities like Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. These are perfect for anyone that's planning their first trip to Japan or ongoing travelers. These are just my personal rankings based on my own experiences. I've ranked them based on the cultural significance of each town or small city and the culinary aspects of each of these places, as well as lodging, scenery. I'm kind of trying to encapsulate everything all in one format. So without further ado, let's get started. So number 5 on my list is Hakone. Honestly, I was debating whether to put this place on my list since it is a very hot travel spot. So you will be seeing a lot of tourists and travelers from around the world here. I put this on number 5 for my list just because it's a great destination for those kind of starting out, trying to venture outside of Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. I personally like it for the scenery. There's a famous lake called Lake Ashi, and you can take a sightseeing ferry across the lake, and that's probably one of my favorite parts of Hakone. There's also a lot of art and history museums in Hakone, like the Picasso Museum and the Open Air Museum. Yeah, and overall, Hakone tends to have very good weather. It's the southwest area from Tokyo. It can get pricey because it is the closest getaway spot from Tokyo, so they're charging these prices because of the convenience from Tokyo. It's a hot spot for tourists mainly. But it's a perfect day trip or 2-day trip, weekend trip for those who just want to get out of the hustle and bustle of Tokyo. So yeah. Number 4 on my list is Lake Toya. So Lake Toya is basically a lake park, I would say, and there's like a town that surrounds this massive lake. And of course there's these traditional hotels, onsens, ryokans surrounding this area. But the main thing about Lake Toya is you'll get unmatched views of Mount Yote, which is kind of like the sister or brother, bigger brother of Mount Fuji, because they're so similar in how they look. When the weather is perfect and the sky's clear, you're gonna see amazing views of this mountain. I remember waking up at 6 a.m. just to, sit outside and get the views of Mount Yote. If you're just looking for unmatched nature views or those looking for a quiet, serene atmosphere, then Lake Toya is perfect. Although it does take a bit, 6 hours to get there from Tokyo, I think it's well worth it. And definitely if you're planning to go to Hokkaido or up north of Tokyo, anyways, Lake Toya, it could be kind of like a detour or kind of a place you go on the way to your main destination. I would recommend about 2 to 3 days here as well. Number 3 on my list has to be Naoshima Island, and this is like the southern part of Japan near the Seto Sea. And I personally put this as number 3 because it kind of reinvigorated my love for Japan. I went here in the summer, this past summer in June, and Naoshima, I didn't really know much about it. I remember hearing a few stories about it, a few articles online, a few YouTube videos about it. I know that there is Kusama's famed yellow pumpkin and red pumpkin located on the island, along with a lot of renowned art museums. But other than that, I didn't really know much. And I went there with a friend this past summer, kind of out of the blue, and honestly, it was incredible. If you're into art, design, biking, I'll get into that a little later. But yeah, I would definitely recommend taking a trip to Naoshima. The only thing is, it is kind of a hassle, or I wouldn't say hassle, but it's kind of a trek to get there from Tokyo. I remember it took me and my friend a total of like 7 to 8 hours to get there. Other than that, it was a very refreshing experience for me. Being someone that has traveled to Japan the past 3 years or so, I was kind of getting to a point where I was like, oh, maybe I've seen most of Japan. I've been to Hokkaido, I've been to the middle regions, the southern regions of Japan, and I was like, oh, maybe I've seen most of it. But no, this trip really taught me that there's so much to see and learn still about Japan. And when I went there, it was blazing hot. It was June, 90 degrees Fahrenheit every day. But I enjoyed every single second being there, just because of how beautiful and different it was to other places I've been to in Japan. So the main thing about Naoshima is there's so much history behind it. From what I gathered, it used to be a fishing port island, kind of industrial related businesses. But over time, they slowly saw economic downturn with the island. So the mayor collaborated with the architect Tadao Ando and Kusama and other renowned architects and artists from Japan to create an artist island. I thought that was a really cool story to hear. I believe Tadao Ando was the first, if not the first. Then I think Kusama followed after him. And now it's become this kind of hidden gem. But yeah, overall, it was just like a very eye-opening experience, to say the least. The museums were beautiful, all of them. I would recommend booking these museums fast because they get booked out extremely quickly due to their popularity. The main thing I enjoyed about Naoshima Island, surprisingly, was not the artworks. As beautiful as they were, it was actually the biking experience. So Naoshima Island is pretty small, but it's kind of in this weird middle zone where it's not small enough to walk around, but not big enough to really drive around. So it became this kind of perfect biking town, I guess you want to say. So I was biking to and from, every museum, straight from Naoshima Port, even for dining, for cafe hunting. I was just on my bike the whole time. I rented it from the hotel I was staying at Uno Port. To get to Naoshima Island, you need to take the ferry going from Uno Port, or you can just book a Airbnb or hotel on Naoshima Island. The ferry comes and goes every hour, I believe, and the ferry itself takes about 15-20 minutes to get to Naoshima Island. So that was extremely convenient. Number 2 on my list is Magome-juku. And Magome-juku is in the Gifu prefecture of Japan, so kind of like northeast of Tokyo. Some fun facts about Magome-juku is it's still using the old transportation routes from the Edo period of Japan. It's part of the Nakasendo Trail, and it's just like this strip of trails with small towns laid across in the mountain region. It was originally supposed to connect Tokyo and Kyoto. So yeah, it's between those two major cities, but it does take 4 to 5 hours from Tokyo. I came here on my very first trip to Japan 3 years ago. I didn't know anything about Japan at this point in my life, but I remember just seeing somewhere, I saw this area on Instagram with a photography page I was following at that time. I knew I needed to go here after seeing those photos. I was like, where is this? And lo and behold, it was Japan. I made the trek up there from Tokyo with my family. It's one of those rare places where the photos don't do it justice. Because usually, you see these beautiful edited photos online, and when you get there, it's not that great. But Magome-juku, I know I had to put this as number 2 on my list because it was honestly it was a perfect getaway. And me and my family, we stayed at this guest house Motomiya, and it's owned by this older Japanese couple, kind of grandma and grandpa. and they were so kind. They're very hospitable. They cooked, breakfast and dinner, I believe, every single day for us. I remember when I first ate the food they cooked for us, and it was the most, it was the strangest feeling in the best way possible. I felt like I was eating real food for the first time. The food in America, oh man, that's a whole nother video, that's a whole nother story. But when I first had the food here at the guest house, it was incredible. It was, there was like traditional chestnut clay pot rice. There was sashimi. There was miso soup, obviously. But I remember eating this, and it was a very healing experience. I could taste each and every ingredient, hand-picked from the farms around Magome. Don't quote me on this, but it might have been the best local food I've had in Japan. If you're someone that likes to do a lot of stuff and likes to be active, Magome might not be for you. It's a small town, just surrounded by nature. You can go hiking, you can do a lot of walks outside, out and about. But other than that, there's not really much to do per se. But for me personally, I think you have to go. You have to go. If you're a first comer to Japan, or if you've been going to Japan your whole life, you need to visit Magome. Okay, number one, this might be controversial. Like I said before, this is my personal list. Of course, everyone's list ranking will be different. From my experience, there hasn't been a place that has really surpassed this level of hospitality and dining experience before. So number one is Kusatsu Onsen. And I was really debating if I put this too high up on my list as number one, because it is kind of a pain to get to. So it takes about 4 hours total to get there, but you're gonna transfer from Tokyo to Karuizawa Station. And you have to take a bus from Karuizawa Station up to the mountain region of Kusatsu, and that takes a while. I believe it takes like an hour to 2 hours, just bus ride. This town is very special because all of the onsens stream their water from the Yubatake onsen pool. I remember going into the onsen bath for the first time at Kusatsu, and it was different. You could tell there was a lot of mineral qualities of the water that healed my skin, and my family would say the same thing. And combine that with the food quality at Kusatsu, at the ryokan we were staying at. And also there's a lot of local restaurants when you go into the town area of Kusatsu. It had just enough of places to see and visit to really fill up 2 to 3 days of travel there. But yeah, mainly if you're really into onsens, and honestly I think anyone should go. Even if you don't like onsens, Kusatsu might change your opinion on onsens and hot baths, Japanese baths. Because the water here was straight from the spring, hot spring. And it's a beautiful onsen town. The air quality, of course, since it's in the mountain region, you're literally going up the mountain to get here. The air quality every single morning was, just amazing. So yeah, those are my top 5 destination spots that I would recommend any newcomer or traveler going to. If you have any questions or comments regarding each area, or if you have any questions about transportation or recommendations, I guess, please leave a comment down below. This is Josh from BrandsWalk signing out. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.